Hey guys, Harv here, and welcome to the test pilot for the 26th of October 2012. This is the series in which we take viewer submitted ships, test them out, and then hopefully take them and make some improvements to them. Today we have a ship entered by WhiteMagicHQ. Thank you very much for the entry. And this is Mission Destroyer 123, I believe. As always, this is a first impressions video, so I have no idea what this looks like. And we are about to find out, I think. 131 parts and 8 stages, so it's a fairly big rocket. Not massive. Ooh, okay. Right, wow. It's got no landing clamps, or launch lamps, which is interesting. Let's put it today. Launch this thing and then hopefully appreciate it. Whoa! Whoa! So my eardrums may have just popped. I don't know about you. Ow, God, what the... Okay, let's retry that. Yeah, submitting ships that actually at least stand up for more than 10 seconds is something that I quite would appreciate in this series. Come on, let's restart this and see whether it lasts any longer. Whew. Okay, that's a great start to the video. Very entertaining, I'm sure. For everyone except me. Ouch. Okay. Come on, don't blow up. I notice you have a critical design flaw, and that's that you've rested this entire ship on solid rocket boosters. 3 of them. So, would you expect it to be particularly strong? Can we time warp? No, we can't. And if we do, it'll just explode. Okay. Fine. Full throttle in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff, and it's very slow. Interesting. Okay, I'm guessing it's going to be using the fuel from these outside tanks. That's generally how things work. What are these aerospikes for? They're not being used. I don't actually know. This next stage has nothing in it. Okay, those are the boosters dropped out. And are these engines firing? No? Okay. Engines. Nope, that just dropped them. We're still slowing down. No, we're actually speeding up now. Okay, it's using these outside fuel tanks, that's fine. Just finished that, it's on the last ones. And then we'll drop that and continue. First impressions, not particularly positive, I'm sad to say. Oh, that nearly hit the engine, but it's okay. We're still accelerating. We're still potentially working. We do have the very awesome IVA view, which is a positive thing, certainly. And how much fuel have we got left? We are nearly onto our second tanks. Okay. If we can hit 200 meters per second before we get to 10,000 meters, then this is not a failure, certainly. But, I mean, it's not a failure anyway. We just need to sort out the staging, I suppose. Don't know what those outside tanks were about, the aerospikes, but oh well. 9,000 meters, and we're only on 190. Actually, I think we can do this, maybe. And 200, yes, just in time. Okay, let's start curving over. Just quite slowly, Harvey. We haven't got a shoot for the moon craft. This is pretty low thrust. I'm too used to curving over pretty fast now. We want to be over 45 degrees at about, I'm going to say 400 meters per second for this. Because it's a pretty slow craft. Okay, or indeed 375, that works. So let's take a quick look at the next stage, shall we? It's got 3 nuclear engines, with they're lifting 1 center engine and 3 tanks of their own. That's good enough for me, really. Ouch. Okay, that's probably my fault for not putting the throttle down. Yes, in actual real space flights, in the Apollo mission certainly, as the fuel drains out, they have to throttle back on the main engines because they're so bloody strong that they can just crush your ship in half if you let them. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a shorter video because there are so many things I want to change. We're ending flight and we're going straight to the VAB. Alright, we have our work cut out for us, I think. Oh god, where do I start? Okay, multiple SAS modules. Nose cones are fine, but I'm going to take them off anyway. Like, oh, there's so many weird things with this. I don't understand where the inspiration has come from. It seems. Have you ever tested this, sir? Have you? No, just slapped it together. Okay. Okay. Right. I think I can appreciate how people feel when they're cleaning cars. Where do I... What's all this junk here? What does she want this? Is this left here on purpose, or is this rubbish? I don't understand. Okay. Just sneezing there. Okay, we're going to make these centered to start off with, and we are going to replace these with stronger decouplers. About there, that looks fine. That's not quite central, is it? Is that better? Yes, that's better, I think. We're going to remove all that because that's slightly almost a bit rubbish. Okay, inside tanks. Yeah, just wanting to mention, I can be quite cruel in this instance. I'm sorry if you take offence, but send me in bad ships and I may well just rip them apart. That is what the test pilot is all about. Okay, we're going to just remove all these struts and remake them how we feel necessary. We're actually going to upgrade the fuel here, because I don't mind having quite a lot of fuel on the sides if we can use it properly. Aerospikes on the sides certainly work, but if we've got rid of those boosters, then we can probably just put them underneath. Oh, of course, we have to take one out. Oh. Okay, that's not working now. This work? Put it onto 1 times symmetry and put it back on. There we go. Back to 3 times and slot it back on. Oh, this is broken again for some reason. Unknown to me. Oh, that's connected to itself now, isn't it? I think. Come on, put this onto the engine. Good. Okay, we have an empty... We have a ghost strut here. That's completely fine. Let me enable mouse cursor. How about that? That might well help. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Why? I don't understand what this is about. Let's take off this and take off that and take off that and that, and we can make that better, and that, and that's interesting. If that works, then sure we can. Why 2? I understand. Take off that, and we shall put that there and that. That works out well enough. Remove this over here. Alright, at least there's no RCS. That's one thing I can be pleased about. There's no RCS. Okay, let's bring this down here. What do we have so far? We still have that ghost strut, which I can't get rid of, but never mind. It's a pretty decent looking ship, actually. Can't really appreciate it with all those random parts. Let's put some boosters on the side. I feel like it needs it. Put some long burning solid rocket boosters on there. What's this? Sepatron. I think that's a mod. Yeah, it must be. I don't know. I don't generally install mods, so I'm surprised it's actually still there. Okay, we have our... I think we may actually have our ship, you know? Oh, 3 nuclear engines, that's such a small amount. Especially when comparing to what I've managed to achieve with 3 nuclear engines with only 2 tanks between them. So, I don't know, it seems like a bit too much fuel for 2 little engines. I don't know what to do actually, quite perplexed. I think, okay, if anything, we'll put these to half fuel tanks. I know last time when I removed fuel from this stage in our last test pilot video, it probably turned out to be a bad idea. But I think that's worthwhile. Okay, let's put some fuel lines leading from the inner tank to the outside tanks. We can sort out ladders in a moment. Yeah, we'll do that now. Ladder, oh, not on 3, fool, just 1. There we are. And then we can put our bigger ladders down the side. Where are we going to be landing with this? I'm not entirely sure. Oh, there's no landing legs either. Maybe it's a scout? It's a bit unnecessarily big if it is. Alright, let's put some landing legs on it. I think we're going to put 6. Just, you know, just in case. That's not far down enough, is it? We have to move the engines up. Oh, the fuel line's in the way. Oh, no, the old ship's in the way. Come on, you go up here and just stay. Thank you. Oh, now you're in the way. Get off. Oh. Looks like those can be added only afterwards. Oh, that's because I'm trying to make 6 of them. 3, thank you. Engines up there, fuel tanks from there to there, and we're putting this up to 6 landing legs. Unless it isn't intended to land, but I don't know that, so we're going to act as if it is. We can actually rechange the name. I haven't finished editing the ship, I'm just not doing things in a particularly good way. Ooh. Mission Destroyer. Quite an apt name, you know, it destroys your chances of completing your mission, I suppose. Mission Destroyer 1, 2, 4. Okay. And that might be it, ladies and gentlemen. We might have actually made our ship. We need to sort out fuel lines so that this inner engine is draining only from the outer ones. Oh wait, we already have that, don't we? Yes. What am I talking about? Yeah, no, that would have been the other way anyway. Okay, yes, so we already have that sorted. Got the couplers, we have our faithful ghost there. We can put some struts to connect the, oh, come on, the inner part to the out. So from there to about there. And we can also take some struts from the top and put them onto these engines. Just to try and prevent wobble, I think. Works pretty well. We don't really need any struts there, and we can just strap on some legs, some launch lamps, and see how we go, I think. Actually, let's put some fins on. I quite like the idea of that. We'll just put 3 fins there. Yeah, that's quite nice. Okay, where are we going to put our launch lamps? No, that's not a launch lamp. That's a launch lamp. Maybe here. This seems reasonable. If it can hold weight on those outside tanks, then sure. And that might well be it. Let's sort out the staging. First engine, we have the big thing firing. Let's bring that up there. We have all the launch flaps separating, we have the big engine firing, we have the 3 boosters, and we have the 3 aerospikes. And then the boosters decouple, so these 3. And then the tank stacks decouple, those 3. That's an empty stage, so we'll pull the separator down to that, the decoupler. And then we have 3 engines firing, and we have all this nonsense with our final thing. We have no parachute either, so this thing's never going to return home. let's slap on 2 parachutes. That's the minimum we really need. Just like that. Yeah, okay. I think that works. Let's try it out. It actually looks pretty good now. No offense. No offense intended. Let's see how this thing flies. I mean, I can't help but think that the main basic design of it is kind of flawed. It's a pretty good idea, but there's so better ways of accomplishing the same thing that it can do, really, with smaller, more efficient parts. But never mind. We're going to take this maybe to another planet. Maybe just to a moon, I'm not sure. Either way, we're going to prove whether it's capable or not. Let's actually time warp so it's day. There we go. Launching in 3, 2, 1, liftoff. There we are. That's going pretty fast now. Getting some pretty decent speed. And it is draining tanks ridiculously fast. Not surprising, really. We could have put some struts here on the bottom aerospike tanks. That might have helped somewhat. What tank are we down to? Draining this one, so we have 2 left. Drop the boosters. And we're still accelerating, but barely. Second to last tank. Penultimate tank. And now we are on the last tank. As soon as those run out, we shall eject them. Significant speed improvements, I've noticed. And drop. Yes, and we are still accelerating, yes. Awesome. Right, now we can start tilting over. This will handle pretty well, I think, actually. Just tilting it over. Getting some pretty good speed up, and we're getting some pretty good altitude, so I'm actually feeling very good about this ship. I quite like it, actually. Might be something to consider. It still probably needs some improvements, to be honest, but maybe not too many landing legs, if it is indeed intended for landing at all. Why am I so far over? Oh well, keep it there. Because, I mean, obviously, if you're landing on anything with significant gravity, this isn't going to be enough to lift your ship up. And really, I mean, there were no parachutes in the first place, so it wasn't going to return to Earth, and there were no ladders, so it wasn't, if you were on anything with any significant gravity, you're not going to be able to get off of it onto the surface. Well, you can get off the surface just by jumping out the capsule, but you won't be able to get back into your ship, put it that way. Okay, where's our trajectory? Oh, we're not actually going high enough. Bugger. I haven't been flying this particularly well, I'm sorry. How much fuel have we got left? Not an awful lot. We need to raise our apparatus as much as possible. Okay, we're getting there now. Right, that runs out and we eject. We can start up the next engines. And probably keep thrusting, I'd say. There really isn't much thrust on this stage, so we're going to want to continue as best as possible. Okay, so we're going to get up to a pretty high apparatus. I'd say maybe 100,000 meters will suffice. So we can at least get into a circular orbit. We should actually be able to transfer to the moon at that time. It's almost in the correct location. Just got to get round like a quarter of the planet, so that'll be easy enough. Okay, just put on physics acceleration. Thank you. (87). See how little the thrust is. It really is very small. I mean, we get amazing efficiency with it, which is extremely useful, undoubtedly. There we are, 100,000. But really, it could probably do some more engines. If we turn it into like a scout for probably 3 people, so put 6 engines, no landing legs, no parachutes, put a 3-man capsule on there, no ladders or anything, we could probably... It might be actually quite apt for its mission, certainly. Getting up to the apoapse. apoapsis. Oh, I've left that too late, haven't I? Because I haven't considered how little thrust it's actually got. Is the moon risen? Or has the moon risen? Yes, it has, okay. So we need to be thrusting anyway. Right, physics acceleration once more. Might take us too long to actually get there, we might miss it. Hopefully won't happen, but it is a possibility. Because if you leave it too high in the horizon, then you carry on going around the planet and you end up forcing your apoapsis up even further away from it, so it doesn't actually get there in time. Which is never a good thing. Ejection angles, actually, in interplanetary travel, it's something that I don't really consider, but I probably should. I kind of just label it down to the sun is underneath you or the sun isn't. Or, yeah, you know, the sun is underneath you or the sun isn't relative to the planet. And it actually matters a great deal whenabouts in your orbit you actually burn for interplanetary space. But to be honest, most of the time sphere of influences give you enough leeway to actually just burn and pray, I suppose. Okay, we're going to take this thing down immediately because I think the light side of the moon should actually be on this side. Can we have a look? Yes, the light side is on this side indeed. So that'll be pretty easy. We'll just immediately burn down for a landing. Has it got enough thrust to land? Not sure. We can always hope. Okay, bringing it down to maybe about here. We're still going very fast, so I should really start slowing down immediately. There we go. Can't slow down too much, otherwise we'll actually end up... Oop, I just heard something. No? I heard something. That was the sound of a tank emptying, or something like that. Not entirely sure. Oh well. Keep warping down. Okay, I feel confident enough to slow our speed completely. How high are we? 200,000 meters. Let's slow down to more like 200 meters per second. Just wanting to be ever so sure with this. Really can't take any chances. Actually, we need to check. Landing legs. Do they reach below the engines? Yes, easily. Thank God. Let's actually have a look at the ladder. Where is it? Oh. No. Oh, bugger. Oh well. We have a jetpack. It's fine. Landing leg is actually going through the ladder's actually going through the landing leg, so we're not going to be able to take the ladder down. Oh well, we have a jetpack. We can easily get back into the ship that way. That's enough thrusting, I think. We can retract those landing legs as well. Falling down onto the lip of this crater. It's quite nice. How high are we? What's our altitude? Okay, we really need to stop burning again. Quickly this time. I say it has very little thrust. It has probably sufficient. It seems to me kind of a perfect ship to possibly take to Gilly. Because Eve is one of the easiest planets to get to, and its moon's got such a light gravity that you really hardly need any thrust. And 3 atomic motors, they provide that, and that's actually pretty... seems pretty good for that purpose. So we're bringing it down gently. We're pretty much burning up full throttle the entire time, I think, until we get to like 1,000 meters off the ground. Maybe throttle down a little once we get to that altitude, actually. What does IVA view look like? Oh, we can't see hardly anything. No good for landing like that. Certainly not. Let's put the landing legs out. Now we're under 3,000 meters. Oh god, this is taking a lot of thrust, isn't it? It really is. Okay, we're getting down to the speeds we want now. Throttle back a little. Or maybe not. We might actually make this a perfect landing. Okay, yeah, just throttling back. Just gently want to bring this down. How high are we? Surely our thing can tell us that. We are about 100 meters off the ground. We want to be slowing down. There's our shadow. Easy enough. Low thrust means you can touch down extremely gently, which is always nice. Always, always nice. I love a gentle touchdown, you know? It makes you feel like such an epic person. Typical nerdiness coming out of me now. Really is. Just look at this. Just ever so slowly. And touchdown. Barely noticed I was even on the ground then. And we have landed this. And we have a fair amount of fuel left. Not an awful lot, but it's probably enough. We can get out and do EVAs and such like. And we can even do, you know, we could probably go to Minmus, to be honest. But I'm not intending to do any long-lasting mission. Let's see if these ladders work, because getting out of these can be a bit hard sometimes. So down. Oh, there we are. We managed to jump somewhat onto the ladder. There we go. Okay, yeah. So we can use the ladder to get down. That's pretty good. Can't use my ladders though, so that's the way in which I have certainly failed. We can just use the jetpack though, it's no big problem. And there we go. That is the game. That is the game, just summed it up in this one video. How amazing. That is the ship, submitted by WhiteMagicHQ. I don't think we really need to take it back to Earth. We will, obviously, just to save the Kerbal, but it's obvious it's capable of it, and anyone who's watching these videos probably already knows how to get back to, so I don't need to explain it in a tutorial manner. So yes, thank you very much for the submission, WhiteMagicHQ. The next ship in line is Karoshi 209s. That is the next ship that I shall be doing a video of. I'm currently on half-term holidays, so I will be making... You can safely expect quite a few videos. If you want to submit a ship to the test pilot series, then you need to send me a personal message containing a download link for the ship and a quick explanation on what it can or can't do, maybe. Or you can actually email HOCgaming@alive.co.uk if you'd prefer to do that. Either way, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked the video, please do like the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.